Hello, people. How are you doing? It's CJ Temo right here, and we're in the chambers. You know, we go out of our way to just bring you exciting stories that will inspire you and motivate you. And again, we get to know people that you look up to, whether they're in the marketplace, whether they're in the entertainment industry, whether they're entrepreneurs, whichever sector of life that they are in. We bring stories from across, just so that you get to have an up close with the people that you probably would want to learn from and look up to as well. So today is not different, because I've got a gentleman. I'm going to tell you about him in a short while, but I first of all need you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Have you done that already? Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and please share this stream as well. Make sure that you're going to comment today, because it's going to be really good. Well, I've got a gentleman that I was admitting to him earlier on. I kept on hearing people talking about something called Maria, and I wondered, and I was seeing men on social media doing a hashtag with something called Maria, and I'm wondering, what is Maria about? Then I got to know that it was a TV show going on, and he is the Luwi that I used to hear about. None other than Brian Ogana. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good to have you here. And you said you got the memo for our dressing.
White rice? Yes.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about this character, Luwi.
Louis is the son of William Hauser. He's the firstborn son. He loves himself so much. He has the value of family. And he is emotional. He's an emotional being.
All right.
The only way
that was in the script? Or
yes.
Or are you describing you?
No. It's in the script.
Okay.
That's Louis for you.
So he's this guy who loves himself, and then he's emotional. So why you for that particular character?
I think for me, the reason as to why I landed the role was first how I dress. Louis and Brian share one thing in common.
Okay.
They are stylish.
All right.
So that was number one. Number two is I think it was more on when we were given the script, the first segment, the first edition.
Right.
I was given an extract. So how I pulled that extract, I think also, gave me the chance to land the role. And it was a challenging role, because we were being told as time goes by, the role will even advance. We'll get to see the emotional side of you. So if you don't cry in real life, you will have to cry. So yes, that's why.
As in straight up, you were told you need to cry over here?
Oh yes. And for me, it was really crazy, because I've never really shown that emotional side.
Okay.
So in my mind, I kept on gambling, like, how am I going to pull it? But anyway, if you're an actor, anything comes, you run with it, and yeah, the rest is history.
As in, somebody can tell you right now that, you know what, show me some tears.
Yeah.
And make it real, make it believable.
Yes.
And you have to think of something that will bring
you have to go back. Yes, because it's all about provoking that emotion and, bringing all those, if it's sad memories or anything that, will make you sad. So that particular, emotion to come out.
So are you guys ever real at any one point? Because you can pull emotions anywhere. So are you guys ever real? Like, I could give you a gift,
yes,
and you can just pull out excitement, and you're not excited about it.
Oh,
are
yes.
you guys ever real?
For me, sometimes yes, because
sometimes
time, yes, sometimes yes, sometimes you fake, but sometimes yes. Most of the times, the colleague you're on set with,
right,
can go deep and give you a certain emotion, and how you react to it, it's so real.
Right.
And even the director will be like, wow, that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
Right. And if any given actor that will relate to this. Artists are usually different, depending on the method of acting you've chosen. For me, I settled on a method called the Masonry technique. It works for me because it's so deep and so emotional, whereby each and every time you chant on a certain scene or an emotion, it comes out compared to method acting.
Okay.
So for me, Masonry technique works for me.
You know, and when you stay on the screen for so long, people begin to identify more with the character you're on screen than the person in real life.
Oh, yes.
And I know that there's this lady from Nigeria, Patience.
Yes.
She acted so many times as an evil woman.
Yes.
Until it was said that sometimes people would come after her on the street. They're like, how could you do that to your own daughter and stuff like that? Do you get those kind of reactions, like people expecting you in real life to be the person they watch on screen?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Like there was a time I just had stepped out to the office, just going for a quick bite. A lady just approached me and was like, you know what? I'm your Maria. Hit me with a line. And I'm like, yo, do you know those are two different people? So I get crazy. Sometimes it gets really crazy. And
I'm going to give it to her. I mean, her pickup line was...
yes.
I'm
Do
your
this.
Maria.
Yeah. So give me those lines. I need to feel it.
Yeah.
So people actually relate to you and they're like, you know, whatever I see on screen, I expect that person I meet in the street to be the same person.
Right. How do you balance that? Because sometimes the person is not too far from the person you're on the screen.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a very different character.
True.
How does somebody find that balance?
For me, what works for me is I always tell myself, you know, never lose that person you are. Never lose the person you are. And I know sometimes it can get in your head.
Right.
And it gets to you that you will never differentiate these two people. For me, I usually pray to God, like, you know, every day, give me a 0, you know. I don't want to see myself like this person. Right. It's me, 0, I'm learning. Right. And I usually just tell him, you know, let it be that, you know, I don't want to change for anything or anyone. Let me just be me.
The certain values that you hold, that would keep you in there. But before we came on set, you know, we talked a bit about content creation, and I was telling you about my worry over certain others that I'm not very sure would last for long. Sometimes people begin with a very good product, and then they can't sustain that for long. Do you see Maria being sustained, and do you see your role?
Oh yes, I see.
Do you see your role being sustained?
Now you see the funny thing about a role, you will never know. You might even die on the script. You never know. But Maria will sustain simply because each and every day, the script writers, the actors, the directors, each and every day, they learn something new. And you know, if you have a keen eye on what's really happening around you, you will never lack content. Because right now, content is everywhere.
Right.
But how you take that content and package it, having in mind that Kenyans we are a very picky lot.
Okay.
Yeah. And you cannot sustain everyone.
Right.
People will love it, people will hate it. So it's just creating that balance. How do I balance so each and every person feel like this is a representation? Because what Maria does is each and every person is represented. If you go to the ghetto, you will find that's exactly what the ghetto. If it's the middle class, that's exactly what they're doing. If it's the upper class, that's exactly what it's doing. So for me, I see Maria sustaining content because there is a balance and everyone has been involved in it.
You know, I'll come back to that, but for example, when Pepper Shirandula started way back, then there were these two guys who came in, Jalango and Otoyo, and they became bigger than what they were supposed to be. When they left, there are people who exited that.
True.
How do you cushion yourself when you've got a show and then somebody was supposed to come in and just do a little bit of it and they need to go, and now they're going with nearly everything you built?
True. I usually say that's the danger with any given, let's say, series or project.
Right.
Sometimes you pull your characters so well, and there's this target audience you've carried alongside you.
Right.
And then at one point, the scriptwriter decided, you know what, we're gonna kill this character. Maybe killing this character will add more twist and probably improve. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. So those are so many twists in every given project that anything, it can go either way. So you just be like, okay, whatever the outcome, so be it.
Do you think we are now consuming local content better?
Yes. At least I can say there is that sense of Kenyans have actually embraced local content. For me, I look at Maria, I compare Maria with a program called Tausi back in the day.
Yeah, that is long.
Yes. So when people are talking about Maria, the impact it has made, and I'm like, wow, I never knew that, this program could, revamp and shake the industry in this way. So it's really interesting how people have accepted it. Men can sit and watch a soap opera.
I could not believe that. I couldn't believe that because I kept on seeing men, talking about Maria, and I'm wondering, what's Maria about at that particular point?
Oh yes. So it tells you, like, we've actually accepted that culture, that we can tell our own story.
But would it be also because they relate? Even the men, that they relate, as opposed to trying to connect to an Alejandro somewhere.
Oh, true.
It does not exist.
The funny part is, I don't know how you look at it, but I usually say men sometimes we hide certain things. We wouldn't want, to disclose everything. And the program has given a voice to most men, like, actually this thing actually happened. It's only that we don't talk about it, but this does happen.
Right.
So yes, it has given a voice to most of the men, and I think that's how it has angered with most people.
Is it a generational thing? Because I don't know whether the generation of our fathers and the older generation would sit there and watch a soap. Is it a generational thing as well? The young men coming up, people being served tea, Is it a generational thing that nowadays men are more involved in things that are emotional and social?
Sure.
Things that are trendy.
Yes. I think
men also are getting into the gossip industry.
In fact, I was told men are the biggest gossipers.
They want to know what's happening in Brian's life and all that kind of stuff.
True. Sometimes with the trends, and most people, I think, we usually shape according to the trend that is carrying and what's really happening. So you shape yourself around what's happening. It's good, it's bad as well. But you just deal with it at that particular moment.
And are we paying? Because when you've got all this publicity, you've got this huge stage, and there's an expectation as well that comes with it. And people, they don't just expect you to be the person they see on the screen.
Yes.
They expect you. I mean, if you walked into Matatu, they'll be like, what are you doing here?
Yes.
Are they paying already for the content that is coming out? There's the appreciation, yes, but are they paying for the content?
What I'll say is, they are paying.
Okay.
Right now, artists are being paid.
Right.
But you see, again, you look at it this way. Money will never be enough.
Right.
For me, I usually look at it like, yes, I'm being paid, but it's not enough for me. So what can I do? Again, the platform is there.
Right.
There's so many things I can do and bring more to the table. The unfortunate part is most artists depend on what they're getting, and that's it. So each and every time you'll hear them saying, oh, money is not enough, and what have you. You've been given the platform.
They want the platform to give them everything.
It can never happen.
Right.
You have to go out, knock on these doors. I discovered something. Most of this company, they lack the creativity element.
Right.
Now, it's up to you now to just spot something. What's lacking here?
Right.
This product resonates well with me.
Yeah.
Go to that company, knock, present that idea. They always buy this idea. This is where actual money is now.
Right,
if
right.
you want now to, you know, go and blow things, this is where the money is. But if you just sit and be like, okay, they will add more, you'll be miserable.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And you know, as you talk about that, a lot of people never understand the weight of a platform.
Oh, sure.
The visibility.
Sure.
It is said visibility gives you credibility. The more people watch you, the more they believe you.
Oh, yeah.
And that can be capital in itself,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You talked about being a fashionista. Let me move away from Maria for just a moment. You talk about being a fashionista. You run your own?
Yes, I own my own sartorial shop. It's called Luwi Sartorial Shop.
Okay.
Yes, because for me, style has always been in me. Style has always been me. It's now that you will find
Am I
me
trying?
in jeans.
Am I trying?
You are okay. Believe me, you are okay.
Because I don't want to embarrass myself over here,
you are
so that you don't share the video because you're like, oh man, the conversation was fine, but
how he packaged himself? No. Oh, you're good. You're good.
Right.
For me, I hold, you know, there's this notion whereby if a man dresses well, there's something wrong about that man. That's not the case. You need to feel good about yourself. You need to feel good. You need to look good. You need to smell good. At least it gives you that vibe, you know?
Right, right.
I'm in charge of this certain aspects of life. And
Right.
it gives you another self-confidence. Even it boosts your morale.
Right,
And
right.
for me, style will always stand out. I can do any color. I'm comfortable. As long as I feel I'm comfortable, that's it for me.
You know, I'm trying to remember something, but they say there's a certain philosophy that the Congolese have,
Yes.
which is to dress well to feel happy. So even if they are totally broke, they have nothing, they will dress well because that will give them a feel-good factor.
True, true.
Did Maria, the show, improve on your sales?
Sales
fashion?
in terms of fashion?
Yes.
Yes, it did.
It did?
Yes, it did. Brian has always been a suit guy.
Okay.
Brian has always been a suit guy. So Maria catapulted that and like, wow, I need that suit. Because for me, it's all about the moment you wear a suit. For me, I usually run with, you know, it's like a bulletproof kind of feeling, you know? There's nothing that can touch you. So for me, that has always been the catch. And people are like, wow, I never knew if you put on a suit, you can look this good, you can look this dapper, compared to, you know, having jeans and sagging. Okay, yes, it's a trend and what have you, but most people now are appreciating, like, you can actually pull a suit, a jeans and look good.
Right, right.
This is really awesome. So yeah, it did. It did.
And as you say, you have had to create and just define yourself and say, if I like it, I'll wear it.
Oh yes, oh yes.
All right. Well, I hope that you are sharing this, you shared this stream rather, and we want to hear your comments. We want to hear your thoughts about this. Please subscribe to the channel as well. Subscribe. Some of you are waiting to hear me ask certain stuff, and you're like, why are you going round and round and round over this Maria thing and stuff? We want to be the Maria, but, well, just keep it right over here. Brian, let's talk about, again, the shift now within the COVID season. There are people who could not transition, especially the actors, the entertainers, comedians, performing artists. They just could not shift. And there were quite a number of cases of people who talk about, you know, I can't even pay rent. I know I've had that from different people. They say, you know, nobody will believe I cannot pay rent. I've not been able to eat or something, I don't have food. But they've got this larger than life image out there because they make everybody else happy. Talk about the transition, you know. What are some of the lessons you've drawn from this COVID season and the transition? And what do you think made some people not be able to transition?
For me, COVID was a wake-up call.
Right.
Wake-up call in the sense that you need to plan. You never know what will happen tomorrow. You need to plan. Always leave room. Save something for a rainy day.
Right.
And I think why most people haven't, transitioned, and why most artists, it affected most artists basically, is, most artists have this, norm whereby whatever I get now is now. Right. Tomorrow will plan on itself. And that's a wrong perception. I think right now, we need now to go back and see, this has happened.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I will never wish myself to be in that kind of position.
Right.
So it's now more of planning ahead of time. Whatever you get, just save it for a rainy day. Save it for a rainy day, because you never know. You never know. It caught everyone by surprise.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And a lot of people also moved online. I mean, anybody who had a phone.
Yes.
Went online and started creating content out there. What are some of the things you look at that we are creating out over here, and you're like, I'm not very sure about that?
Oh, trust you, there's so much. I don't want to mention them, but there's so much. But what I know is the beauty about online, because the digital migration has brought some of the most beautiful things.
Right.
You can package yourself, put it online, and get something out of it.
Yeah.
But it takes time. Now your consistency is what will make you get that. Because right now most companies have been affected.
Right.
Yeah. Most of them cannot go the traditional way of marketing stuff.
Yeah.
But they are going the digital way.
Right.
So if you're in the digital space, lucky for you, because they will come knocking on you, but you need the numbers to grow it. It takes time, but finally you'll be there. What I can tell people is, especially content creators, just be creative in your own way. Most people go copy paste and this person was doing this, let me copy it.
Right.
What works for you will not work for me necessarily. So there is a lot of potential on the digital space. If you feel that's the channel, anyone of you who wants to go that direction, then there's something for you.
All right. But there's certain things, okay, don't mention names, but there are certain things that you see out there and you think, this is crazy. You've talked about that element of consistency. So do you, in a sense, feel like most of us are in a hurry?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And we get frustrated, right?
Yep.
When we go that direction.
Oh, sure.
Because I'm thinking, I've been shouting for 5 weeks and the YouTube channel is not peaking and the numbers are not coming and I need to be doing numbers like somebody else.
Yes.
And people get frustrated.
Yes.
And then they quit on their content and authenticity.
Consistency is very key. Consistency is very key. Because, people will look at you and be like, wow, I want to be like that person.
Right.
But this person did not just wake up that one day and got themselves there. It took them quite some time. The numbers, they take time for them to grow. When I started, I remember, I started with what? 1,200 followers.
On
Instagram.
That's how you started?
Yes! And believe you me, the number was like that for almost 4 years.
Do you know what it took me to get to 1,000?
Almost 4 years. The number was just the same. And I'm like, okay, what am I doing?
Brian, I was on TV every Wednesday. I was on TV every Wednesday. Yes. And it took me years to even hit that 1,000.
All true. Yeah. And then there's the pressure for ratings. There's that pressure for ratings. Everyone is, okay, these are the ratings. You're not doing so well. So you need to pull up your socks. So you're like, okay, I need to. But never listen to that. Always have your content and just be consistent. What I hate about the social space is, I don't know, I think it's a generation thing as well.
All right.
Because we have, a new crop of generation whereby what I'm used to and what I'm seeing, I'm like, no, I would not even want my kid to see certain things. Yes, because it's really crazy. The moment you see something and you cringe, you're like, ah, no, there's something wrong. So in a way, we've lost it. Because again, the content creators, the question usually, ask people is, what is the shelf life?
Right.
Yeah. Because, okay, it is trending now, but for how long will it trend? Because you need something that, generations to come will always go back and it will still be relevant.
But some people just think like, they say, Brian, I'm not thinking legacy.
Yes.
I want to use it now as long as it works for me. When it fails, yes, I jump on to the next one. What are the dangers of doing that? The
impact it will leave on, the generation for that particular moment. Because, internet will never forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might do something now thinking that, it's trendy.
Yeah.
But a few years, you'll be a father. Your daughter, your son will come across that content.
Yeah.
So you will not want to imagine like your kid seeing what you used to do at that particular time.
So when I'm creating anything and just generally in life, yes, I've got to put myself in the future.
Oh yes. Or you have to go to the future, come back and apply. Because if you're just doing it for the sake of it, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Again, sometimes we do things, whatever we do, it's all about how it makes me feel.
Right.
Yeah. Does it make me feel good?
Right.
What about the other person? How will they take it in? Some of these questions you need to ask. For me, I usually say it's, the rule of what if.
All right.
You have to ask, what if what if that person? So ask the questions, and if you get answers, then go ahead, do it.
All right. Yeah. So this one I will ask because of, Mukami, who got in touch with you. And is Luwi dating Maria in real life?
No. Luwi is not dating Maria in real life. Or Brian is not dating Yasmin. Luwi is dating Maria, yes. Brian is not dating Yasmin.
Yeah.
I think for us, we've grown that chemistry.
Right.
We've really bonded, we've really gelled. And I can talk about her. I know her. And the same will apply to her. She knows me very well. And the bond is what, made this chemistry so believable. And people are like, you guys ought to be real couples out there. Because we get this. We get it a lot. And people are like, are you guys dating? I'm like, no, we're not. Well, no, we believe. No.
Now, Brian, let me ask you, okay, in the case scenario, because I'm intrigued with the acting world, because I've been part of it before,
yes,
and then I told you I tried a project last year. Well, I'll still pick it up. Yes. So in a case where two main characters have families elsewhere, but then this screen chemistry is so potent.
Oh, yeah.
How do you convince the guys at home?
I'm telling you, it's crazy. I won't lie to you. It's crazy.
That nothing is going on.
It's crazy. At some point, you even get fights.
Yeah.
Because they're like,
that wasn't.
This is real. This is real. Probably you might do something on screen. Because again, people need to understand something. Sometimes you do something, when you come back, you're like, did I just do that?
Yeah.
So you do something, you come home, and someone is like, why haven't you ever done that to me? So it gets crazy. It gets crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy.
All right. So anybody that is hooked up to anybody that is in the acting industry, they need to really have shock absorbers, right?
Oh, they have to. They have to. Again, it's very important for, for your partner and the immediate family. It's very important to make them understand and see whatever you're doing from your perspective.
Right.
Because again, if you don't, and then if you get someone who is not understanding.
Right.
Oh.
You can imagine when you've got a partner and you're not even talking that week.
Yes.
Then that's the week that you're needed to be most romantic on the screen. And they're looking at you.
And you know the funny thing is, it has happened. It has happened.
It has happened?
Oh, it has happened. You are not in good terms.
Right.
You go on set, because you usually given scripts like a month to, so you familiarize with them and you know how best you will do certain scenes. You're leaving your home today, and then the same day you're shooting a romantic scene. You shoot it. Probably you've gone to that realm, done your best. You're back. And then, like a week, that scene is played. And you're like, okay.
Right.
So it was best for you to do that, and you did not see it wise for us to amend our problem. So it's crazy. It is really crazy. It's crazy.
Well, but we thank God that you're here. We thank God that, you guys are holding up. And generation, you talked about Tausi.
Yes.
I don't know whether you watched Tushauriani as well.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So it means that there's still generations and generations that are coming up that will find something that they will work with, right?
Oh, true.
All right. To the young person who's aspiring, who feels like, I want to be like Brian. I want to be that person. That camera right there, just speak something to them.
All right. What I can tell you is basically, if you want something that bad, go for it. There is no limitation for you. It's all about, in life I've learned one thing: discipline. And you have discipline, perseverance, and that aggressiveness.
Right.
Combine that cocktail, you'll have the perfect recipe. Don't give up. Push. I'm telling you, push. You'll find so many rejections. People will tell you you can't do this.
Right.
You're not, cut for this particular thing. But don't give up. Continue pushing. The moment you're about to give up, that's when it's about to happen for you. So don't give up. For me, I live on one principle. Whenever you pray as if you're going to die the next minute. And whenever you plan as if you'll never see tomorrow. So yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the time we've had for today. I probably will have to have another in the chamber with Brian, because we didn't even get too much into who he is. So we probably may arrange to have another one with Brian. But I hope that this has been helpful to you. Right here in the chamber with myself, CJ Atemo. Please subscribe, share this particular video. We need to be people who appreciate and share clean content as well. Like, don't wait for the day something crazy has happened to him so you want to come in and see, so what is he going to say? No. Sometimes you just need to appreciate positive things and build up on that and grow clean content as well. Until the next time, it's CJ Atemo. See you.